The expedition built the priory as a place to contemplate the mysteries of Beledar.
So I think I'm basically ready to
The gods sought to kill you.
make my weak auras for Resto
Captain
Druid.
Dale Cry is protecting
Like, I just
something.
watched a little video on it,
Each of his
and
lieutenants
so I
bolsters
think I
his
know what's the most
tactics.
important things I should be
Draw them
tracking.
away and defeat them.
I can play for like an hour, and then I'm gonna after that I'm gonna go make my Resto Druid stuff ready so I can play Resto Druid too. Because I really want to play Resto Druid, Resto Shaman, and Priest. So between the three of those, hopefully I should have a lot of people to want to learn and watch and stuff. My friend, he's a good doggy, isn't he? He's a good boy. I think this comp is maybe possible to time 14. Like, I basically timed 13 Priory, but if I time this, it'd be 14 Priory, which would be kind of insane. I know it's not a resilient key. There's no way it's a resilient 14 Priory.
5, 4,
I can't use that item yet.
2, 1.
They didn't see me. I'm a holy priest and they can't stop me. They're gonna be so
The
mad.
expedition built the priory as a place to contemplate the mysteries of
Oh,
Beledar.
I gotta remove my raid cooldowns.
But of late, the devotees have become secretive, hostile. The gods
Empowered.
sought to kill you. Captain Dale Cry is protecting
5,
something.
4,
Oh, I used everything. Whoops.
2,
It's not
1.
ideal.
Each of his lieutenants bolsters his tactics. Draw them away and defeat them.
5,
I'm pretty dry. Alright.
3, 2, 1.
Let's divine him. Disrupting shout.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Next thunderclaps in 2 seconds. Galaccio bottles.
5,
Next disrupting shout. Okay, so
3,
next
2, 1. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I feel like we're doing pretty good on damage.
5,
Shame, man. Your training grounds fall to the intruders.
Empowered.
So I gotta use insight on prayer mending here. And probably pretty soon here I'm gonna use the Galaccio bottles, the trinket that I have.
It's still recharging.
Galaccio, which will be really good for the tank, because it's gonna mostly go on him. So I have premonition of overheal. I have, let's go with Symbol of Hope here. And then I'm gonna use Shadow Fiend when it's off cooldown now.
I can't use that item yet. It's still recharging.
So I gave Premonition Shield to the tank, even though I have a debuff. I wanted to give him shield instead of Guardian Spirit. So I GS'd myself, because like I'm getting trucked by a bunch of stuff. I trust this tank pretty well also. Like I only felt like he was in danger once so far, so. Galagio Bottles is OP for disrupting Shout, because I can cast it before the Shout happens, and... Oh, and tank's dead. What took him so long to battle res?
Your survival wasn't necessary.
He got shot 3 times though, so I don't know if it's necessarily your bad, dude.
It's still recharging. I'm out of range.
Nice try. That's pretty fun. I think I can definitely heal 14 Priory. Like I did really good. He said it was his bad that he died, and I'm like, I don't know.
I have an extended supply.
It wasn't that
of
big a
goods
pull,
for Outlanders.
and he was doing so good. I was just talking him up, saying he was doing great. People got 15s they want to try before the week's over. It's pretty cool. Part of me just wants to get my Resto Druid Wake Auras in check. And not even try any more keys today. Like it'll probably take me about a half hour to get him into a reasonable state. Then I need to eat. But by the fact that I got into a 14 Priory means that I'm one of the most highest rated healers who's still awake. So odds of getting into 14 have got to be pretty good. Look at that kitty, she's so cute. She didn't used to sit there. It's like she knows that there's a camera now. She wants to be famous.
Bob Bobbers. Night night.
Night, dude. How's your replying to YouTube comments? Looks like I'll get into this 13. I think they're qualified too. But I try to reply to every YouTube comment, so I feel like it's important to build trust with people by replying to their comments like within a day. Hopefully I get a couple more tries. I think this dungeon is timeable, man. If I could get 13 prior, I'd be so happy.
The god sought to kill you. Captain Dale Cry is protecting something. Each of his lieutenants bolsters his tactics. Draw them away and defeat them.
So we got Illidan, Stormrage, Frostmourne. These guys might, I think they're probably friends. It'd be pretty cool if if we time this and then I can friend them, because they're pretty decent players. They're 3k plus. I need to start remembering to like show the build that I switched to like as the timer's going down, because I haven't been doing that. And I also haven't been
5, 4, 3,
It's not
2,
ready yet.
1.
Alright, we tricked you guys. I'm Holy Priest, you don't know. This is the build I'm using.
The expedition built the property as
So
a
the
place to
opener we're gonna go
contemplate the
with
mysteries
is
of Belladar.
Premonition of Insight into Prayer of Mending. So I'll get the
But of
forecast of
late,
Prayer of
the
Mending.
devotees have
If I
become
can,
secretive,
then I'll
hostile.
Get closer.
The gods sought to kill you. And Captain Dale Cry is protecting something.
so then I went
Each of his
immediately
lieutenants
into
boasts
Oracle
his
Healing.
tactics.
5,
Draw them
Four,
away and
three,
defeat them.
Oh boy, what'd he die to?
5, 4,
That's pretty bad.
2, 1.
It's been a while since I've lost someone on first pull.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I can't use that item yet.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's still recharging.
This pull is lasting too long. I think the key's dead already.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's not ready yet.
I already health potioned? Wow, I health potioned really early.
5, 4,
I got a symbol of
3,
hope.
2, 1.
I can't drink anymore.
This hunter's so greedy with his cooldowns.
5,
I think we're screwed.
3, 2, 1.
Like, I'm gonna have to deal with Shaymo with all this bullshit.
5, 4,
I think I'm in trouble.
3, 2, 1.
I need more mana. My mana is low. Not enough
5,
mana.
4,
I can't
3,
use that item yet.
2,
Gotta
1.
heal up before this thunderclap.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I need to target something first.
I think he is
Shaman,
dead, bro.
Your training grounds fall to the intruders.
Double pot shot,
It's still recharging.
and then thunderclap, pot shot, disrupting shout. The tank pulled it, like, not good. I had a disrupting shout within 2 seconds of a thunderclap. That's kind of unfair to me. So just the way he pulled it, spam heal on myself to save mana during piety. Like, I think it would have been fine if
Frank
the druid
Rock.
died, but he died
Hello priest mate. How are you?
pretty good, dude. Not very optimistic about this dungeon specifically, but we'll keep going until... If we have 4 deaths before first boss, I think it's like over. We're already at 2, so... Like, I had 4 deaths total on the last time I did this, and...
It's not ready yet. It's still recharging. I can't use that item yet.
And we were over by 15 seconds last time I did it, with 4 deaths, so... Pretty sure, just like... You know... And I thought the group had pretty good damage.
Empowered.
It's not ready yet.
So I got 2 ticks off of Divine Hymn, and I knew I had to move, but I did cast it, so... I wanted more than 2 ticks. Not a big fan of this route though, so... I faded really light there. That was a faux pas, if you ask me.
I can't attack that.
Alright, so he's pulling these 2 guys. This is very strange, but okay.
It's still recharging.
So my AoE doesn't matter here. I'm just doing single target damage to this guy.
Frank Roth. Can you tell me what are the stats for a holy priest in dungeons please?
Yeah, so you want to try to have at least 25% haste, and then you want to have like verse. Can you tell me which level dungeons you're trying to do? Like, what are your goals? Because that would change what I would recommend. Like, are your goals to do 10s? Are your goals to do 12s? Are your goals to do 15s?
Frank Roth. My goal are just to do +10.
Okay,
Frank
so...
Roth. I'm not a pusher.
Okay, good. So, for just generally trying to do,
The intruders defile the altar of the
if you're
sacred
trying to do
grave.
+10, you want to have like 25% haste. You know, you could even go up to like
Can't use that item yet.
35% haste, and after that you can really have a balanced stat priority. Like you don't need to stack versatility. Like versatility is nice because it increases your damage and increases your healing. So if you're a player who really cares about damage, then I'd say haste to like 30% or so, and then go with versatility and critical strike. Oh my gosh, I actually died to that. I'd go versatility, critical strike, and then I'd try to have as little mastery as possible.
It's not ready yet.
But for like
It's still recharging.
you can have a lot of mastery if you
Can't
want.
use
Like,
that item yet.
it's not the end of the world if you have a bunch of mastery.
that item yet.
Frank Roth. Okay, thanks you really much.
Yeah, no problem, dude. Like you can have balanced stats. Like it's not like gonna make the biggest difference. But the one thing I'd say that is pretty mandatory is you want to have that 25% haste so that you can get enough. You need to be able to get enough heals off in.
They seek to ambush me without my lieutenants.
I think it's over already. That was a pretty bad death by me. Oh, what's that blue circle? I never seen that before. Like at below 25% haste, you'll run into only being able to heal like 2 or like you'll only be able to cast like 3 heals before like the like 3rd AoE tick, and you want to be able to cast enough heals for the AoE ticks to, because you're healing single target. So if you don't have enough haste, then you won't have enough, you won't cast enough spells to hit every single person in the group, and that's what you really need to do.
It's not ready yet.
Like for example, the guys coming up after this,
Ours is the true path for the Arathi.
Empowered.
the paladins above that are at the top of this hill, like in that church up there, they do their bell cast. 2 of them have a bell that they like ring, and it does like 80% or like 50% of people's health. So if you don't heal every single person before the second bell tolls, then
5, 4, 3, 2.
then somebody's gonna die. So that's why I think the only real mandatory thing is the 25% haste. You can probably get away with 20% haste, but it's just a little safer at 25, and then at 35, you'll be able to for sure heal everyone.
5, 4.
So what I started doing on this boss is,
5.
this is the second Holy Radiance, so this is the second big AoE, so I'm giving the tank Guardian Spirit here so that I don't have to worry about him, and I don't have to heal him during the AoE. Because this is a pretty challenging tank boss, so... Hunter's doing pretty good damage.
2, 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Put an end to these heathens. My spear aims true.
J. Morgan. Are those enemy spell timers from DBM?
Yes, they are deadly boss, or no, they are from Bigwigs, which is basically the same thing as DBM,
2,
but I use Bigwigs.
5, 4, 3, 2.
This is a pretty good tank.
1.
My spear aims true. Put an end to these heathens.
I really wish I didn't use Piety here.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Now we're about to go to the Paladin pole, and I am pretty dry. Like, I have good mana, so I should be able to get full mana.
Dalcry was an Arathi hero. How could the Priory force him to turn against Hallowfall?
Are these steel strikes, lackeys? Guards! Guards!
Okay, so Apotheos has covered the first set. and Piety's covering the second set, because we got 3 paladins in this bowl.
It's still recharging.
Yeah, it's over.
I can't use that
Let's see
item
if there's
yet.
another 13 prior. Yep.
Only the strongest survive.
It's still recharging.
I'm pretty tired to be doing this, so I'll try one more dungeon, like see if I can't get into a 14. And then, so what I want to do is I want to play like 3 healers for the channel. So I just started my shaman, and I also want to do druid. So I'm just gonna do like 4 keys per week on shaman and druid until I get some gear, and then I'm gonna try to main the holy priest still, and I don't think I'm gonna be doing monk.
It's not ready yet.
And I'm probably not gonna be doing guides for the other ones. Like I might do like specific boss guides if I like end up doing 13s. Like I want to get 3k on all the characters. So I think that's a pretty reasonable goal. To get 3k on 3 characters and then get like 3.5 is the goal for priest. Like the realistic goal is 3.3 k, which is like 15s, and then maybe like some 14s and 15s, and then 3.5 would be a couple 16s and 15s. So like I think it's a realistic goal, but it will be a challenge. So like if I could get like I would like to get the Mythic Plus title thing, which is like the 0.1% or something, but like I don't care that much. I'm totally happy to get like 3.3 or 3.5 IO and or Mythic Plus rating and not worry too much about it. Like I think 3.3 is like the 1%, so getting to the 0.1% at 3.6 or whatever it is, something like that, like 3.65 or 3.7. I'm gonna need to find a group like of players who really want to play with me in order to do that. And if I want to main Holy Priest, it's a little bit unrealistic to expect that. Like I like Disc, but I think Holy's more fun and more rewarding because like I can't kick things, but what I can do is I can make sure that the guy who's getting the casts on him is healed to full, so that when the cast hits him, he doesn't die. And I think that's really cool. Disc, you just have to do your damage rotation and hope that they press a defensive and kick, and you can't like add an extra heal on the person who's getting casted on. You just have to like do your damage rotation and keep your mindbender up and um, try to rotate between your mindbender and your mind blast. So
May rook nor ram take you far.
yeah, it's about 3 o'clock. It's usually when I stop playing for the most part. Usually, like during the middle of my stream, I try to just do repeat keys just so that I'm playing. But when I'm at the very end of the stream and it's almost bedtime, I just relax a little and be picky about my group that I'm choosing. Like this is not being picky. This group, um, is oceanic and all that jazz. So, but I've been looking at the group finders, and I think that monk is probably second most common. Priest is probably the most common, and then um, I think shaman and druid are about tied. So I don't really like playing monk that much. So if I were to play shaman and druid, I should be able to get into keys and have fun. I don't need to see 15s. They wouldn't invite me anyways, so there's no reason really to even look at them. '14 Rookery, that would be cool. And this guy's 3,200. He's a very good player. As a Fury warrior, you have to be really, really good to get that high of score at this point in the season. I think this guy just needs 15s. 2,200, 3,200? He's gotta just need 15s. He's gotta be like full 14'd out. Let's check it out. Yeah, he's got full 14s, so that's a um, resilient 14. That's nuts. Yeah, so that guy just called it. It looked like he needs a 15, so he was only posting that key to get another 14. Somebody asked for. What? Oh, I gotta. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna call the stream. Maybe not, I don't know. Should I do this workshop? Ooh, I'll try the Cinder Brumetery. It looks like fun. I'll do one more key, then I'll call it. Like, I like Cinder Brew, kind of, but not that much, but kind of. Like, I used to hate it, but it's like, it's okay. And it's a pretty slow run for me, like 3208. Any dungeon over 32 is pretty slow, I think. Like, I think most of the timers are like 33 minutes-ish, so.
The charged silt from these clashing elementals are packed with healing properties.
I was thinking of doing this as an Archon, like, let's think about that. So all the bosses I think could be fine as Archon. Yeah, I can give it a shot as Archon. I kind of want 60-second him as Archon instead of. I think this would be better for this dungeon. I don't know, man. Depends on the group comp. Man, the tank left.
I have many lucky doos. You like?
I think this transmog's so funny. That's kind of cool. do also like the book that it... That's kind of cool too. Let's just transmog the book thing. I think that's cool. Yeah, I really only wanted to play till 3:30, then I'm gonna work on my druid. Uh, week auras so that I can play druid on like next Saturday and get him leveled up. Then I'll go do my shaman on Sunday. Because I feel like I've pushed to the point with Holy Priest that we're running into gear checks, like, and if if I can just wait a couple weeks for people to get gear, then all of a sudden these 13s will be like a lot easier because they'll have like, instead of being able to die 3 times, you'll be able to die like 7 times, and then in 14s you'll be able to die 4 times instead of just like 3 times in a 13, which seems kind of ridiculous. People have more stamina. Come on, just join the group. I want to start this key. Yeah. Like, I joined this group because it had a tank. Just want to play something, but then work on the druid weak rows. Oh, cool. I'm 21 hours away from the YouTube partner in terms of engagement. So they just updated with today's stuff. The stream did really well today. And it seems like people are happy with the Holy Priest guide too. TTV Shanks. Man, this guy's being so picky. Oh, I think my boyfriend's awake. Let's go check that out. Hey, baby. Okay, dude. Like, just invite someone or I'm gonna call it. Seems kind of pointless to play high keys at this time of night. That's why I want to get my other characters going, so I can just do like regular keys and there's people to play with. Because it's not like we're looking at 1% of the population who wants to do this kind of crazy stuff. So I am going to be playing Archon for this key. I can go over what I was thinking, so I'll just go over it again. So I think Priory is a Oracle key. I think Rookery is probably Oracle, and Theater of Pain is probably Oracle. Then for Archon keys that are basically I think you should Archon is Floodgate, Motherlode, and Mechagon. So the reasoning behind Motherlode going to I've decided for Archon is um the difficult part of Motherlode is not AoE healing, it's making sure that you have enough like interrupts, and you will have enough interrupts. You'll have more interrupts. You have twice as many Psychic Screams because every single time you Psychic Scream as an Archon, it goes off twice. So it goes off once and then 4 seconds later it goes off again. So that's kind of the pain point of Motherlode, which is why I think Archon is better. And then Workshop, I really think it's either one, but I think Archon might be slightly better there. But hands down, Theater of Pain, Oracle, Priory, Oracle, and depending on how this goes, I might still think this is Oracle because there's just such a big pull at the beginning of the dungeon that, and then below level 12 and below, like just whatever you want to play, right? So if you're under geared for the content, I would always play Oracle though. But if you don't, um, you might do better as Archon if you're not um knowledgeable about how Oracle works. So that's why I want to do the premonition guide, because um it's kind of a freaking complicated spell. Like, it's quite complicated. Like, it's 4 different spells, but it's actually one spell, but it's 4 different spells. So, like, what? And somebody shared me, like, these weak auras that are, like, or no, they're macros. So, they make Archon or Oracle a little bit easier to, like, to understand if you just use these 2 macros. Like, one of the macros is so that every time you have the Oracle Shield ready, and you cast Holy Word Serenity, it'll cast the shield as well. And I think that's pretty good, like, if you don't want to manage the Archon or the Oracle buttons, like, solo. And then the other thing, which I've actually considered adding, is every time you cast Prayer of Mending, if your Premonition of Insight is ready, which is the cooldown reduction one, then it'll cast Premonition of Insight and then go into Prayer of Mending. And you can do it 4 times in a row. But what stopped me from doing that is I want to be able to use my Premonition of Insight to use on Holy Fire as well. Like, sometimes it's like, no, I don't want to use it on Prayer of Mending. I want to use it on Holy Fire. I don't really care about damage that much. Like usually, like you can do. I bet you this season you're not gonna need any healer DPS to time up to 15. And then like 16, 17, 18, you might need more healer DPS. But for almost the whole population, like worrying about your DPS seems like kind of a vain thing to do. Like it's unnecessary. Just keep the people alive. That's your job. Just do your job. I'm really excited. I'm starting my rose garden in like a week. So I have a greenhouse and I'm starting some roses in there, so that should be really fun. I might post the roses in the channel as well. Like I don't really think WoW players care that much about flowers, but they might. I just think it's cool, you know, so
Chris. Oh, is disc the shit now?
I'm not playing disc. I'm just tricking um the group leader. I always just apply to groups as discipline because I'm trying to do the highest level of keys like that you can pug right now. So they won't invite a holy priest. They just won't. Like
Chris. True.
yeah, so maybe after the buffs to holy priest, people will change their mind a little. And also disc got nerfed, so that's gonna like really get into the psyche of all these crazy people that say, "Oh, you gotta be disc." And I used to like once I got into the group to switch to holy, but I got kicked 3 times after doing that, and then I started switching after they do the 10-second timer. And if you switch during the 10-second timer and then drink mage food and then drink a mana potion before the dungeon starts, then by the time the dungeon
Chris.
countdown goes off,
Ha 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 ha.
yeah, by the time the dungeon countdown goes is done, you'll be full mana, and then you tricked them, and then they're mad, you know. And then if the key goes badly, then they're like, "Oh, you're a holy priest. I hate you. You ruined the key." And it's like, no, I'm not doing any dungeons where I'm not applying to level 15 where I think I might be the fail point. I'm applying to 14s, and I really, really look hard at myself and say, was this something? Every single death I look at and I say, is this something that I could have prevented? Is this something that was my fault? And uh, when tanks die, I don't say, oh, this is the tank's fault. I say, you know, I probably should have helped the tank some more. When a damage dealer dies and it's like they got hit by an AoE from a mob and also a spell. I say, well, maybe I should have healed them before because maybe I had half a second to heal them before the AoE went off, and if I had healed them, that wouldn't have happened. Um, so I really try to I try hard to blame the deaths on myself, but a lot of times it's like, no, this wasn't my fault. This guy got 3 fireballs thrown at him right before the big guy used a thunderclap and did 80% damage with thunderclap. Plus he got 3 fireballs on him, which did 80% of his health. And it's like, in 2 seconds you get hit by 3 fireballs. There's nothing I can do. Like, if I guardian spirited you, maybe you would have lived, but you need to save guardian spirit for the tank a lot of the time, and sometimes you can get by with using the Guardian Spirit on Premonition and on yourself so that you're doing like insane healing to the tank, so it's almost as good as having Guardian Spirit on him because he's getting like a massive amount of healing from you. So yeah, I try really hard to, you know, see if the deaths were actually my fault. And that's how you get better. You're not going to get better if you just blame other people. You're never going to get better. Like, what I've recently started doing is...
Chris. Good mindset.
Yeah, what I've recently started doing is thinking, okay, I've got to use Psychic Scream more because these casts are going off, and if I can use, like, if you're an Archon, I think it's a really good strategy. Like, if you have a timer for when the big mob is going to do like stomp on the ground and do big AoE to everyone, then a really good strategy is if your Archon is to 4 seconds before that big AoE comes, you want to use a Psychic Scream. And then you don't, and then it'll cast Psychic Scream like right when the guy's using his big AoE because Archon has a 4 second, it's a Psychic Scream, then 4 seconds late is a second Psychic Scream. So by doing that, you should hopefully interrupt one of the casts that's gonna like go off at the same time as the AoE, and if you do that, that's big value. I do the same thing as Shaman with Capacitor Totem, and and the fact that Archon has a similar mechanic where you get the fear, then it goes off again, and Capacitor Totem goes off, and then like 3 seconds later it goes off again. I thought that was insanely valuable as when I play Shaman, and that's one of the strengths of Shaman is that you have really good interrupts and you have really good crowd control. So I'm getting pretty fed up with this leader. He is being so picky. Just pick a group and we'll try. And if we fail, we fail. But it's been like 15 minutes after I got into the group. I hate when it's more than 15 minutes like before I get into the group, and it was like 10 minutes before. It's been like 25 minutes. So I'm trying to be interesting and like explain like some things that I've learned and some of the mindsets I have, but it's not as interesting as gameplay. Gameplay is why people watch. Like they do watch to learn, so.
Chris. Could we talk a little about race change? I am a Drain A for cosmetic reason, but the racial does not have any value, I guess.
Yeah, so what are your goals? Are your goals to do plus 10s? Are your goals to do plus 13s? Like, I think those are the 2 most common goals, which is plus 10 so that you can get all your portals, and then plus 13 so that you can get the 3K mount. I think if you want to push like higher than 13, probably Dwarf
Chris,
is best.
I did 12 on my tank last season. I would like to achieve 3K rating this season on tank and healer.
Okay, so I think you're fine. Like, I think you should be able to get 3K no matter what race you play. But I play Goblin because of raid, and I like to be able to. I like to be able to Like in raid, if I'm out of position, which I oftentimes am out of position, I can use my goblin jump and get back into the proper position. In dungeons, I think the best two races are dwarf, but if you really don't like the way dwarf looks, then I wouldn't say it's mandatory for level 13, but it is very, very strong. And because augmentation is no longer in the meta, it's pretty unlikely you'll have a bleed dispel because unless you're an evoker healer, I think like 10% of the time I have a evoker damage dealer, and it used to be like 95% of the time you'd have an evoker damage dealer. So as dwarf, you can remove bleeds, you can remove, and also it gives you a damage reduction, which is pretty nice. So, but I wouldn't feel that much pressure to switch to like a dwarf, and they're kind of ugly, so I don't like them. But I'm probably gonna switch to dwarf, honestly. I think they're pretty dang good. And they have the racial for 3% increased critical effect, so that's pretty strong. Because Holy Priest is going to be haste, versatility, crit
5,
as the
4,
main things
3,
you're going after.
2, 1.
So I went with 2-minute Divine Hymn for this. I feel like as Archon, so I'm going to open
Chris.
with healing the tank.
Thanks for your input. Good luck in your key.
So I'm going to go with Divine Hymn, help the tank. I gotta give him Guardian Spirit. Oh, what? I just died? Did I get meleeed? Okay. Did I get meleeed? Alright, it's over. I don't think so. I got aggro somehow. Yeah, I'm just gonna call it. Like, I want to work on my druid stuff, and like people are like, I guess I'll keep the stream going while I work on my weak auras, but I mean, I think it's pretty uninteresting. Oh, I want to log out as discipline. So I made like a little list of the abilities, and I kind of know where I want them. What is this? Regrowth. Clear casting. Abundance. What is this? Attacking from Prowl increases the chance of Shred and Swipe to critically hit. Casting Regrowth increases the chance for your periodic heals to critically heal by 10%. Huh. If you guys want to ask me questions about Holy Priest or anything like that, I'll answer them, but okay. What is my dispel called? Soothe and Nature's Cure. Okay. Does it have a cooldown even? Here, I'll put a working on Druid weak auras. So I need Life Bloom, Efflow, got those two. We need Nature's Swiftness. So this would be nature's swiftness. We need swift mend. Yeah, that'd be fine. Oh, Swiftman's got like... What the hell? Soul of the Forest? Hmm. Okay. Oh no! Wait, no. Okay, okay, okay. Oops. Hmm. It's probably pretty useful. That's actually pretty cool. No, it's called. What's it called? Dang it. Didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that either. I'll leave that one. Okay. No, I don't want to delete that. What? I don't understand. Incapacitating roar. Oh, is that what that is? Is that my Swiftman thing? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's pretty important. Okay. I think I can play this class now. Hmm. Alright, I'm gonna call the stream. It's too boring. Nobody wants to ask questions, so we'll call it. Thanks for tuning in. I'll try to do more priest stuff like tomorrow, but it's bedtime.